Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video blog, a very different one of sorts. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a tour of my new iMac, which is actually a 2006, so it's not really new. It's 4 years old by this point, or around there, and it is running Mac OS Snow Leopard, yeah. And let me just talk a bit about this machine. I got it for a very cheap price. It's a used one because I've been having some issues with my Windows machines, as you probably haven't seen them in a few days or years or whatever the case is. But yeah, we're on 10.6, which the latest is 10.6.8, but I haven't updated this yet. So this is the base model, the CD model, I'm pretty sure. It's got a 1.83 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. That's 64-bit with 2 processor cores. Pretty awesome. 2 gigabytes of RAM at 666 megahertz. It's DDR2 SC RAM, so that's pretty cool. And then for graphics, I have the Intel GMA, which honestly sucks because if the original owner got the higher tier model, then I would have got dedicated graphics, and maybe this thing would have actually been able to game. So first things first, let's talk about my desktop, I guess. So I have kind of one of the default wallpapers here. I'm pretty sure this was the default wallpaper of the previous version, or of Leopard was the default wallpaper. Just these grass blades, I don't know, I really like it. And then we've got Macintosh HD, like a little shortcut to my hard drive. This is the Lego Star Wars archives. This is where I have a bunch of pictures of sets from the different years, going back to 2006, which is when this computer was made, all the way up until last year, which, as you guys can see, I don't have that yet, but these are my favorite sets from each year, basically, so that's pretty cool. I just have that on there, I guess. And then there's nothing really else on my dock. As you can see, we have this stuff, but that's not important. So let's talk about my dock kit again. So here we go. This is the trash can, where you put your trash, and there's Finder. We got the downloads folder here. I'm not going to go into that because, there's probably schoolwork and stuff in there. I don't know. And then the applications folder, which these are stacks, by the way, which are really amazing. And one of the new features of Snow Leopard, which came out last year, was the ability to kind of navigate stacks like you would Finder, so you can go into folders. Whereas before, it would just take you into Finder. I just hit the escape key. Whoops. So yeah, let's just talk about each and every application I have installed on my iMac. So we got Address Book, which is literally just contacts, like if you were on iOS or something. Automator, I never use this at all. Bejeweled 2, this game runs pretty well because it's a 2D game, obviously. Calculator, that's cool, I never use it. Chess, I never use that either. Dashboard, I'm pretty sure you guys know what that is. Same with dictionary and DVD player. This does have a DVD drive, but I don't really use it much. And then we have Empire at War, which is like a Star Wars real-time strategy game. I don't know how to play it, so I don't play it ever. And then Feeding Frenzy, which is a game by PopCap. They also made Plants vs. Zombies and Peggle and Zuma, so that's cool. And then Firefox, this is the browser I use on my iMac. It's really awesome. Font book, I never use that. Front row is pretty cool. It's basically like the Apple TV interface on your Mac, which I don't even know if the Apple TV has come out yet. Maybe it has, I don't know. I don't stay up to date with that. And then we have Halo, which runs terribly on here because, I don't know, it's just not optimized or something, I think. And then iCal, which is the calendar app. iChat, this is a instant messaging, so you can use your AIM account if you want. I do. It's pretty fun. Image capture, that's how you get the photos off your camera. I'm not really sure what iSync is because I use iTunes to sync my iPod, so that's interesting. And then here's iTunes. I got iTunes 9, it's pretty much brand new. So that's cool. Definitely some cool features. And then we have iWork 09. Like I sometimes will use Pages. These other ones I never use because they're boring. And then we have Lego Star Wars, which also doesn't run well either. Neither of these. I have Lego Star Wars and Lego Star Wars 2. And then we also have Mail, which is nice to have email on here. And then Microsoft Office. Sometimes I'll use Word. I think it's better than Pages, not gonna lie. Minecraft. I don't know what that is. That's interesting. I think it's like an upcoming game or something. That's interesting. And then Peggle. It's a cool game where you shoot a ball and then you try and knock out all the pegs, I guess, before it hits the floor. I don't know how to describe it. But then Photo Booth, that's a cool app where you can take pictures. I have like paper taped over my webcam, so I'm not going to demonstrate that right now. And then Plants vs. Zombies, I think it came out last year. It's a really fun tower defense type game. Preview, that's how you look at images. QuickTime player is like the default video. You can also record movies and screen recordings like I'm doing right now. Safari, that's the built-in web browser that comes with OS X. Stickies, I never use those. System preferences is basically the control panel of like Mac OS. TextEdit is like a text editing program. Unarchiver, that's how you like uncompress zip files and .rawrs and stuff. Time Machine, that's the backup utility. VLC is pretty much the same thing as QuickTime Player, but it supports more formats. And then you have all the utilities in here. That's cool that I don't use much. And then this is Toast, which is like a virtual disk drive thing that allows you to mount ISO files. It's helpful for playing games when you're sailing the 7 seas. So yeah, I talked about everything in my doc. Let's just take a look at Finder. So yeah, here we are. This is my home folder on this iMac. I don't use it for a ton of things, basically just browsing the internet and everything besides gaming, because it can't game very well. In fact, my Xbox is right next to me, so I play that instead. So yeah, this is the home folder. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what I could show you guys. I don't really want to, go into the personal areas or whatever. So yeah, here's the clock. I'm just going to show you the different things in the menu bar, I guess. If you've never seen Mac OS, it's how you adjust volume. That's the Wi-Fi. Time Machine backup. And then these are just different little things up here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess we'll go take a look at what's in my documents, because why not? So these are actually different little guitar videos or recordings I did, so that's cool. Got the Halo 3 script right here. Some different little word processing things I've done throughout the years and whatever. Yeah, overall not that much to see, honestly. So yeah, you guys, that's what's on my iMac. It's pretty epic. Not a ton to see, but it's definitely a cool computer and I like it. It's a lot stabler than Windows. I think Windows 7 is doing pretty well. I'll have to give that another try sometime. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video blog. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.